Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. An electrifying episode of WWE SmackDown awaits us tonight following Roman Reigns' massive return in the main event of SummerSlam last weekend. Many fans were expecting the original Tribal Chief to return with Paul Heyman at the biggest party of the summer, but that did not happen. The former Wiseman has been off television since the Bloodline assaulted him after he refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his Tribal Chief. However, the WWE Hall of Famer may return alongside Roman Reigns tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. So without further ado, let's take a look at 4 things he can do on SmackDown if he shows up tonight. 4. Paul Heyman introduces Hikuleo on WWE SmackDown. Roman Reigns cost Solo Sikoa the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam, which will likely lead to a Bloodline civil war. Solo Sikoa has his Bloodline ready to take out the original Tribal Chief, but Reigns is on his own now. Jimmy USO, who has been out of action since April, was the only remaining member of his Bloodline, apart from Solo, before Roman went on a hiatus. However, if Paul Heyman could introduce Hikuleo on SmackDown tonight upon his potential return. The 6'8" star reportedly signed with WWE recently, and he may decide to side with Roman Reigns instead of Solo Sikoa. With JUSO on bad terms with Reigns, Hikuleo could become the new enforcer of the original Tribal Chief. 3. Paul Heyman demands an undisputed WWE title rematch for Roman Reigns. After holding the undisputed WWE Universal Championship for 1,316 days, Roman Reigns dropped the prized gold to Cody Rhodes in the Bloodline Rules match at WrestleMania XL. As the original Tribal Chief took time off from WWE after his loss, he never got a rematch for the title. Paul Heyman could go to SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis to demand a rematch for his Tribal Chief after his potential return tonight. Roman Reigns is still a free agent, as he was not a part of the WWE draft this year. Heyman could offer Reigns signing with SmackDown to Aldis in return for a title match. Unless WWE immediately books a Reigns vs. Sikoa match, a triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa may take place at Bash in Berlin later this month. 2. Paul Heyman challenges Solo Sikoa to a tribal combat on behalf of Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa called out Roman Reigns for months, and the Street Champ finally got a massive response from the original Tribal Chief at SummerSlam last weekend. WWE may book a singles match between them before the inevitable War Games match between the 2 versions of the Bloodline at Survivor Series in November. If Paul Heyman returns on SmackDown, he could call out Solo Sikoa and ask the former NXT North American Champion to accept a tribal combat match against Roman Reigns. It would be the perfect way to decide the real head of the table. 1. Paul Heyman betrays Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns had no communication when the original Tribal Chief went on a hiatus after WrestleMania XL. The special counsel also pulled Reigns out of the 2024 WWE Draft without his permission. The legendary manager suffered in Solo Sikoa's bloodline for months during Roman Reigns' absence. Heyman remained loyal to his Tribal Chief, which led to the former SmackDown GM being brutalized by Sikoa and his men in the end. It is possible that Reigns silently parted ways with Heyman because the latter could not control Sikoa during his absence as the Street Champ took over the Bloodline. Reigns and Heyman not returning together at SummerSlam could be a major hint that they will not work together anymore. Although Heyman refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his Tribal Chief, the 58-year-old could be forced by the Anoa'i family elders to accept him. This could lead to Paul turning his back on Roman Reigns on tonight's Friday night show to side with Solo Sikoa. After all, the self-proclaimed Tribal Chief has not found himself a Wiseman yet. The blue brand is no stranger to seismic shifts, and if rumors swirling in the wrestling world are true, Paul Heyman is poised to deliver another earth-shattering surprise. After his recent absence, speculation has been rife that Heyman could return to WWE SmackDown with a new enforcer. An intimidating 6 feet 8 inches giant who could shake the very foundations of the show. But what does this mean for Roman Reigns and the rest of the WWE Universe? Here are 4 things that the former Wiseman could do if he makes his way back to SmackDown, and how his return could spell trouble for the Tribal Chief. 1. Introducing the new enforcer. The towering star's debut, Paul Heyman, has always been a master at identifying talent with the potential to dominate WWE. His history as the advocate for Brock Lesnar and the Wiseman for Roman Reigns is testament to his eye for greatness. If Heyman returns to SmackDown with a new enforcer, it's almost certain that this individual will be a force to be reckoned with. Standing at 6 feet 8 inches, this monstrous figure could instantly become one of the most physically imposing presences on the roster. The introduction of this new enforcer would likely be done in classic Heyman fashion: strategic, theatrical, and devastatingly effective. Imagine the scene. Roman Reigns is in the middle of the ring, addressing the WWE Universe, perhaps flanked by his current bloodline allies. The lights go out, and the familiar tones of Heyman's voice echo through the arena. When the lights return, there stands the giant, looming over Reigns, with Heyman at his side, smirking as he introduces the newest weapon in his arsenal. This move wouldn't just be about the sheer physicality of the new enforcer. It would be a statement: Heyman is back, and he's bringing with him someone who could change the power dynamics of SmackDown forever. 2. Sowing seeds of doubt in the bloodline. Paul Heyman's greatest strength has always been his mind. He's a master manipulator, capable of turning allies into enemies with just a few well-chosen words. If Heyman returns to SmackDown, one of his first moves could be to drive a wedge between Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline. Despite their success, the bloodline has always been a fragile alliance, held together by fear, respect, and the influence of Heyman. With his absence, cracks have begun to show, and Heyman could exploit these to his advantage. By whispering in the ears of the Usos, Solo Sikoa, or even Reigns himself, Heyman could create an atmosphere of distrust and paranoia within the group. This would not only weaken Reigns' position but also set the stage for a dramatic betrayal. Heyman could subtly suggest that Reigns is no longer fit to lead, pointing to his recent losses and the pressures of being tribal chief. With the new enforcer by his side, Heyman could convince members of the bloodline that their future lies with him, not with Reigns. 3. The ultimate backstab. Reigns betrayed. Perhaps the most shocking move Heyman could make is orchestrating a betrayal of Roman Reigns. For years, Reigns has been the centerpiece of SmackDown, and his alliance with Heyman has been key to his dominance. But in the world of WWE, alliances are always temporary, and betrayals are often the most memorable moments. If Heyman were to betray Reigns, it would be a seismic event in WWE history. The betrayal could come in the form of a sudden, brutal attack, with the new enforcer leading the charge. This would not only send Reigns crashing down from his pedestal, but also establish the enforcer as a legitimate threat on SmackDown. The aftermath of such a betrayal would be chaotic. Reigns, stripped of his allies and his Wiseman, would be left vulnerable, possibly even questioning his future as the tribal chief. Meanwhile, Heyman and his new enforcer could position themselves as the new power duo on SmackDown, with their sights set on dominating the brand. The betrayal would also open the door for new storylines and rivalries, as Reigns seeks revenge against those who turned on him, and the rest of the WWE Universe reacts to the shocking turn of events. 4. A new power struggle. Heyman's bid for control of SmackDown. With Roman Reigns potentially out of the picture, Paul Heyman could make a play for control of SmackDown. As someone who's always had his finger on the pulse of WWE, Heyman knows that power is everything. With his new enforcer by his side, he could begin a campaign to take over the blue brand, positioning himself as the ultimate authority figure. Heyman's bid for control could take many forms. He could align himself with other powerful figures on SmackDown, creating a coalition of talent that answers to him. Alternatively, he could use his influence to manipulate the WWE management, ensuring that his enforcer is given every opportunity to succeed and dominate the competition. This power struggle would not only make for compelling television but also set the stage for future battles over control of SmackDown. Wrestlers who oppose Heyman would find themselves in the crosshairs of his enforcer, leading to brutal matches and intense rivalries. Meanwhile, those who side with Heyman could enjoy the benefits of his strategic genius, rising through the ranks with his guidance. Conclusion: the Wisemen's next move, Paul Heyman's potential return to SmackDown with a new 6 feet 8 inches enforcer, could mark the beginning of a new era on the Blue brand. Whether he's introducing this towering star as a new force in WWE, sowing discord within the bloodline, orchestrating a betrayal of Roman Reigns, or making a bid for control of SmackDown, Heyman's actions are sure to have far-reaching consequences. The WWE Universe should brace itself for what could be one of the most shocking and transformative periods in SmackDown history. Heyman's return could mean the end of Roman Reigns' reign as Tribal Chief and the rise of a new power structure in WWE.